How do you feel to talk again about those Sodom years? Is it exciting to be back in the past?
It's a trip. Yes. I usually I usually don't look back. I always think about t today and tomorrow, but this is different. It's really not only reliving the past because we are recreating, and we're also reliving, but we're also creating something new from it. We are not just putting out the stuff, on a different it's not just putting out the old album in a different vinyl color. We actually work on this like this is a new release. I made the remix. We dig out all kinds of stuff from our vaults. We go into the basement and check boxes and try to look for stuff that hasn't been out of the box for over 30 years. And this is really, really exciting. It's when we did this originally, I was 22, 22 years old, which is very, very young. And it's it feels like I remember everything because I was always sober, but it feels like a different life. It's because it's been so long ago. Everything was so different. You were so young. We were so young, and I had long hair. We all had more and longer hair. And yes, and it was kind of innocent times, so to speak. It's you didn't have a care in the world. There was nothing but music, and I still try to keep it this way. I don't try to um, let the evils of the world drag me down with them. I always, I open my eyes in the morning and I think about rock and roll and everything that goes along with it. I think about ideas and creativity and music and stuff that I can do. And yeah, they they were simpler times, but every you know, it's great. It's great to be able to work with Tom, with my friend Tom, talk about the old days, but not about you remember when, drooling down memory lane, and not everything was great back then. You cannot just romanticize or glorify the good old days. There was shit going on back then too. But but to take this and see what can we do now, to see to kind of transport the past and what we did back then into the future and make it exciting. Perhaps make it even more exciting than back then. Back then it was not just another album, but it was a new Sodom album, album tour. But this, the deluxe thing, and with the live albums and the remix and the photos, you can tell the whole story. Back then, you had like two or three press photos, the album cover, a shirt design, a handful of interviews with the magazines. That's it. Now you have podcasts, you have video magazines, you have YouTube shows, and you have a whole two or three generations, two generations, who weren't around back then. Who wanna hear the story, to see everything in the context of what happened after this. Back then when we released Get What You Deserve originally, I didn't know that this would be my last Sodom album. I had no idea. But now, oh, more than 30 years later, you can all put it into perspective and to look back and see where it fits in your history and in my career. I've done very different things since then with the punk rock, with my punk rock bands and everything. But it's yes,
I have it.
yes. But it's very exciting to see how it all connects and fits together. It's all part of one big story, and I love it. I'm having a great time. I'm between interviews now. You know, I had one at 6, I had one at 7, now I have you at 8, and the last one finished a little earlier. And in between, I had Tom on the phone. We were talking about stuff because we are in contact every day. And I said, "Listen, I gotta go because I have an interview." I said, "Yeah, have fun. Tell him I said hi." And it's all in great spirits. And I really enjoy this. I really enjoy this. It's a very healing process.
And for us as a fan, I bought Tapping the Vein. I think I bought this album maybe 3 or 4 times in my life.
Really?
And the last, with this one, I can say I am complete now. And was it hard to convince the record company to not make easy money and to have a real work, a real packaging, a real, how can I say, concept about the release?
No, because our guy at BMG London, Miles, is the greatest guy I've ever met at a record company. He's one of us. He's a thrasher. He's our age. He knows this music, the band's inside out. He's a fan, but he's also a great product manager. He's a visionary. He knows what fans want. We know what fans want. You know, I'm a Kiss fan. You know, when there is a new box set coming out, I know what I like and don't like. I know what I don't need and don't need. And we have meetings after meetings until we come up with the final plan. And it's a great creative collaboration. I couldn't say more things. I can't say enough nice things about working with Miles and BMG. It's great. They really want to do this right and not just, as you said, make easy money. Easy money would be, yeah, as I said, let's just put out the original thing in a gatefold with 4 different vinyl colors and just wait till the money comes in. No, we work hard on this. We try to come up with ideas and how to make this exciting because I can tell you in all honesty, we want to make the fans happy. That's that's what we want to do. We don't, I mean, do we like money? Yes. Do we make a lot of crazy money with this? No. You it's money comes in from this, of course. But if I, considering the work that I put into the remix and everything, it's, but I don't care. I don't care. We have to do this right. We do this once. We're not doing another Tapping the Vein box set in 20 years. This is the once in a lifetime thing, and we want to make it right. We are not holding anything back. We are not trying to make quick cash, and neither does the record company because everybody has a reputation to lose, because the fans have a voice and they have the outlets to make their voice be heard. And the last thing we want to do is do some half-assed product and get a shitstorm or whatever and have shit hit the fan and get this in the face, hit hit ourselves in the face with it. No, we want to do this right, and we're doing this right.
Was it hard to find the original tracks of the studio's takes? How was it saved through the years? Was it analogic tapes or maybe already digital files as WAV or other formats?
Tapping the Vein, we digitized in 2012 or 2011 because there was talks about releasing Tapping the Vein for the 20th anniversary in 2012, but that never happened. So I had Tapping the Vein digitized on my computer since 2012. And then we worked and then started working on this in 2021. So sometimes, and it was right to do it later. And so those multi-track tapes were always there. Forget What You Deserve and Aber bitte mit Sahne. We didn't know that those tapes were there. In fact, Tom told me, I don't have it. I don't know where it is. And one day, like January of 2025, Tom sends me a video via Messenger or WhatsApp. He's not talking, he's just filming the boxes of some tapes, opens it up, and there it is, the track sheet for Get What You Deserve. They were in the wrong boxes. And all of a sudden, it was all there. It was all there. So from my era with Sodom, we have all the multi-track tapes, even the live stuff from Marooned. It's all there. It's crazy. Nothing, Tom has nothing, but that's all there. And it was in his basement, dry, regular temperature. So everything was in great condition. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle that we have this.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Right. Wow.
I have done an interview with Tom, I think 6 months ago for the last album. So
Yes.
that's why I asked to talk with you tonight because it was
Nice.
recent to talk with him. And he told me, as we were talking about the Tapping the Van reissues, he told me that you had a lot of stuff from your era with the band and
Yeah.
that he was amazed about your maybe a spirit collector.
Yes. I have everything. I kept everything, because um, w- we don't, people like me, I don't have a university degree. I don't have I'm not a doctor. I don't get, don't have a college degree. I don't get reviewed at work. I don't have, what we have is newspaper, magazine articles. We have videos. I have everything. I kept the rooming lists from hotels on the tours. I kept everything. I kept a little sheet of paper where Chris Winchhunter hand drew the directions to his place so I could visit him for the first time at the end of 1991. I kept that. I have, yeah, I kept all kinds of stuff, the minutiae, because I was so proud and I always knew it's important to keep this stuff. This is important stuff. This is, yeah, because as I said, I'm a Kiss fan. And when Kiss dig up stuff from the vaults of lost things, recordings or videos or stuff that fans and the band thought were lost, or little things, just the tiniest things that complete the picture. I love that. This is what fans love. And I knew it was important to keep all this and to record all this. I had my video camera with me everywhere I went. That's why we have the footage from the photo sessions that are in the Jabba the Hutt video. That's why we have concert videos bootleg from my camera that I just gave somebody here, film us, or just put on a tripod from the mixing desk, from the front of house position. But just to save it, just to have it, just to um, um, yeah, to make it that to make sure it doesn't get lost.
Mhm. In a way, does it mean that you will be only involved in the re-releases where you are playing on, or maybe would you be involved in maybe Masquerade in Blood or other stuff that you are not on?
We're not talking about this because we are still working on my era. The live stuff is next. We already started digitizing the live tracks, the
Wow.
live tape, the multi-tracks for Maroon, for the next one. So we are working my era now. I don't know. I don't know what happens in the future. I don't know. I don't have an answer for this. We're not talking about this right now.
And yeah, so Marooned is supposed to be re-released, and is there plans for the live in Zece Carl also?
Yes. I, I mean, I'm talking about this for the first time, but we have, Marooned was put together from two shows, Hamburg and Bremen, 1994. That's it. That's Marooned, those two shows. And then we put out the Zechekal Essen live video.
Yeah.
And we have those multi-tracks as well.
Wow, also.
Yes, and the interesting part here is there is one song missing on the video. During the encore when we played with other musicians like Miller and Peavy from Rage, when we played on the night of the concert, I opened this extra encore with the guests. I opened and I played I Stole Your Love from Kiss with the whole Blind Guardian band.
Oh shit.
That's not on the video. That's not on the video because Hansi, the singer from Blind Guardian, was so drunk he fell into the photo pit during the first few seconds of the song. And for whatever reason, that never made it to the video. The video is still lost, but we have the audio where I play the Kiss song with Blind Guardian, with the original lineup of Blind Guardian. So we are planning to do a massive live box and to put all the concerts in there. And I think that's happening next year, but we are working on this year. So yeah, I'm still busy with Sodom, and that's great.
Okay, and yeah, as a fan, there are some special tracks on Marood, the Fratricide and Gone to Glory
Yes,
tracks, and there were stories about the fact that it was recorded during rehearsals. So, what is the
true.
real story?
That's true. Um, we we thought, or the record company thought, it would be great to have two unreleased studio songs, two new songs on the live one, on the live album, and we wrote them and recorded them during soundcheck
Okay,
in Hamburg, Bremen, and maybe in Essen. I don't know. I would have to check the tapes, but it's true. They were recorded live during soundcheck.
okay. So, as an historical member of the band, you lived this key period with Chris leaving the band and Atomic Stave coming.
Yes.
How was it? Can you remember, or was the mood in the band? Because you were a trio, and maybe on the human level, there are not maybe few possibilities to have different feelings. Maybe when you are in a five-piece band, it's maybe different. It's maybe more diluted. I don't know how to say. So, how did you live this period of transition with iconical drummers?
I mean, to let Chris go was a huge deal, but it could not have been avoided. He was not in great shape mentally and physically. His playing deteriorated, and he had personal issues and troubles in his private life. So the split had to happen. And I think looking back, we should have talked more, or we should have talked, but back then, when you're young and stupid and you don't talk, and in metal, and guys don't talk, tough guys don't talk, and the caveman attitude, it's stupid. Maybe we could have saved that lineup. Maybe we could have, but we didn't, and it happened the way it happened. And then Atomic Steve came in, and I mean that was a breath of fresh air. He had his shit together. He was nice. He was prepared. He was in the best shape of his life. He was fast, precise, heavy hitter. like Tom always used to use, he always says, German Dave Lombardo. That's how we felt. And we were a machine. We really were a machine, and everything happened very fast. So, but yeah, I am the only guitar player who played with Chris and Atomic. And we made some, it's interesting. Wouldn't you say that this was an interesting time for the band?
Yeah,
It was really transitional, the lineup changes were always with the guitar players, but Witch Hunter leaving, Sodom lost a part of its DNA and its soul, you know? Chris loved Sodom. He lived Sodom, but he loved Sodom not enough that he would put in the hard work and practice more and get his shit together. But it's easy to say, now. Back then it was a different time. But you know, all the drummers that I played with in Sodom are dead,
yeah, yeah,
and that's very sad. And they both died too young.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And having you, uh, I think we can say you were in the band for a short period, maybe 4, 5 years, and
Not even three, a little under 3 years,
okay.
not more. But we put out so much stuff. It's crazy to think how much stuff we put out, right?
And it stamped us. I think personally, I was knowing Sodom since Persecution Mania, and I was a bit, how can I say? I was waiting for heaviness. And when Tapping the Vein was out, wow, that was heavy. You refreshed the sound and it was brutal. And with Get What You Deserve, it was different. It was shorter, more direct, uh, maybe hardcore. I don't know how to say, how to describe it, but it was a punch in the face. And wow, once again, it was, I think, maintaining the interest for the band. And after, honestly, it's my personal opinion, maybe for the next 15 years, it was maybe the mid-tempo era of the band. And
Right.
only recently, with the four-piece of the band, I rediscovered, yeah, a new version of Sodom, maybe more energetic. But your period was key, I think, and maybe the fans are still here and remaining and yeah, remembering this period.
That means a lot. Thank you very much for saying that. I mean, I get the mid-tempo period. I get it because Bobby, the drummer, great guy, great drummer, but not a real thrash metal drummer.
Yeah,
You
and you
know,
worked on this record too.
yes, yes, yes. I co-produced this one. I produced the vocals and the bass. Drums were already recorded, guitars as well. But yeah, I worked very closely with Tom on this one. I like it. There's great stuff on there. But both Bobby and Berneman were not freshers.
Yeah,
They did not, and I'm not taking anything away from it. Berneman is a great guitar player and Bobby is a great drummer. But they were somehow they were important for that period of the band to keep it going. But but they were not this death energy was not there.
yeah. It was missing a kind of attack, or
Yes, yes.
but yeah, it was the longest lineup of the band.
Interesting, interesting, and look how little it is talked about. But I think that was the era of survival for Sodom. It was thrash wasn't popular. Sodom was not in the headlining positions at festivals. It was a survival years, and this it's good that they were there and that they did that. You know, it's all good. But but they were not out to kill. And Sodom has to be a fierce beast out to kill. And you don't if you don't have it in you, I love Bobby. It's and I would he he would tell you he's not a thrash metal drummer. So it was all a bit mid-tempo-y and it's all good. I mean they came up with great songs. I mean Napalm in the Morning is a hit in the Sodom catalog. So it's all good. It's all good. Every version of the band had their had its moments and is 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 up there. It's good that it's good that they existed in that form.
Yeah, and as a world career, it's maybe significant to have different periods, and maybe we can refer to this period or this one.
Sure. Same with Kiss. You know, the 80s, the Bruce Kulick years, the non-makeup years, the Vinnie Vincent years, the original four. You know, it's all and or Motorhead, the the Fast Eddie years, the original lineup years, and then the Wurzel years. It's you know now looking back, it's you can put it all in perspective. But if you ask me what's my favorite era, what's my favorite Sodom lineup,
Yours, of course. And maybe me too.
okay, you're a man of taste.
You know, a lot of people are talking about the Agent Orange album as a real
Sure.
commercial success. And yeah, of course, some songs are good, but for me, it was always maybe under Persecution Mania, for example. I think
Interesting.
there is no intensity in Agent Orange. And when people are referring to this record, I'm sorry, I'm more about tapping the vein. So,
I get that a lot. I mean, um, Sodom in a nutshell probably is Agent Orange. Because of the massive success, it was the first big success and everything. I get it. But, and I didn't know this, Tapping the Vein is a very, very popular album among Sodom fans. I didn't know this. I didn't know this for many years. I'm still learning about this, but you know, there is Rain and Blood, and Rain and Blood will forever be Rain and Blood. And this is Rain and Blood is thrash metal. Rain and Blood is the genre. It's this is the thing. This is the top of Mount Olympus. This is forever, forever. But my favorite album is Seasons in the Abyss,
oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And and maybe for some this is it's the same with Agent Orange and Tapping the Vein. Yes, Agent Orange is this monolith. It's top of a mountain forever. This is the album that puts Sodom on the map, and this is iconic. But there's also Tapping the Vein. And that makes me proud to be a part of this this huge story. I'm really proud and happy.
I was, yeah, maybe, yeah, 15. Yeah. And it was so traumatic, you know. There were Pantera, there were Obituary, there were those bands. And listening the record for the first time, it was a real shock. The Body Part song, wow, incredible. And I still remember this moment, you know. That's
I
crazy.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot. You are not alone. Because the album before Tapping the Vein was Better Off Dead, which I really liked back then. If it was not for Better Off Dead, I maybe wouldn't have joined Sodom because I only knew In the Sign of Evil and Obsessed by Cruelty, which I hated. And then I stopped paying attention to Sodom. I never listened to them again. And then when I met Chris and there was talks about me joining the band, I I had to go into a CD rental store, which was a thing back then, and rent Agent Orange and Better Off Dead. And Agent Orange I thought was good, but Better Off Dead is a really, really good album. But it's not by any means brutal or aggressive. It's very fast at times, and I think it's very, very good, but it's also melodic here and there. And in a time where, like you said, obituary were coming up and death metal was a thing, maybe Better Off Dead was the wrong album for Sodom fans in a way that it was maybe too soft. And here's Stepping the Vein, just banging down the door and entering your place, your kid's room, and it's just what is this? Because maybe people were expecting Sodom to even get more soft, to even get softer. And here is body parts. And I get this story a lot, like putting this on with shaking hands. What is this? Another guitar player. What's Sodom doing now? And then it's bam, bam, bam. And it's just, and that makes me proud.
You can. So to go back on the re-release,
Yes.
there are some special remixes. So as an audio specialist, can you tell us the differences between the Redux, the Blitzkrieg, and the, sorry, I can talk German, the
Schweinskopf.
yeah. Is it all different?
Yes. I mean, Redux was Tapping the Vein. That's the Redux version of Tapping the Vein. I just made a remix and Redux means reimagined kind of, a new approach. And I don't want to make the original albums better. I just want to give them a second look from my perspective, having been in the band, having been in the room, and try to recreate and recapture the way we actually sounded. When there's studio technique involved, there's always trickery, but I'm not using any samples. I'm not reamping anything. I'm not recreating anything. I'm trying to reduce it to the maximum, so to speak, and just showcase the band as it was. And we called the Get What You Deserve remix. We called it the Blitzkrieg remix because Blitzkrieg was the working title for the album. We originally wanted to call the album Blitzkrieg, and the record company said, "Are you out of your mind? A German band with songs like Ausgebombt and Bombenhagel and Stalinorgel, and you want to call your album Blitzkrieg? What are you on? What are you taking? What is this? No." And but for the remix, we thought, yeah, maybe we can get away with this now because it just comes. This album hits you like a hammer, and that's my approach to reduce it to just bare bones and fists, clenched fists, and give the guitar a little more love. On the original version of Get What You Deserve, which we still love. That's the way we wanted the album to sound. But the guitar was a little buried, which is all good. But in my remix, I wanted to give the guitar a little more love so that you could actually hear what I'm playing and to bring the band as close to you as possible. If you put the headphones on, Tom is right here, and the guitar is right here, and the bass is here, and the drums are. kicking you, and it's just three very, very unfriendly guys beating the shit out of you for 45 minutes. That's the approach.
Okay. The last song of the record was the Venom cover, and
Yes.
it's a good transition to talk about the Keep It True that will come. So
Are you coming?
I hope I am in contact with Jeff, and
Same here. Me too.
yeah, and I program some bands for a French festival called Menacee.
Nice.
And last year he was a special, how can I say, Godfather.
Yeah.
So he came for the 3 days, and I was also maybe 15 years ago. I organized some gigs for Empire of Evil in France, in the south of France.
Right.
So we talk a bit with Jeff, and yeah, I hope to be there for the Keep It True.
Nice.
With this Venom cover back in the day, what was the intention? And as you covered a lot of bands with Sodom when you were with the band, why especially Venom?
Without Venom, there's no Sodom. It's that simple. It's Venom, Motorhead, Venom, Sodom. That's um, the yeah, that's the way it happened. That's the order of how it happened. And Tom loves Venom. I love him too. But on Tom, this Welcome to Hell and everything that had such a massive influence. It's Sodom would be unthinkable without Venom. And we also there was a tribute album to Venom in '94 called In the Name of Satan. Do you remember this one?
Yeah, yeah.
And we recorded 1000 Days in Sodom for this one. That's my last official recording with the band.
Okay.
I played guitar on this, and that's the two songs that we are playing at the Keep It True. So it's great to perform with Tom and with Mantas and Abaddon. I mean, to think that this is actually possible, when I was 13, 14, and you kind of got the fourth copy of a copy of the Seventh Date of Hell video from Hammersmith, or the Studio 54 video, Venom, Slayer, Exodus. And those are the guys. And I'm having a Zoom appointment with Jeff Mantas tomorrow because I'm helping with coordinating the guests and everything for the tribute. And on the German side, sometimes it's easier if you have a guy
Yeah.
uh, who's around. Um, it's crazy because when I was a child, I was scared of Venom. I was scared of those guys. That was a dangerous band to me. And it's just I live for those stories, things coming full circle. And I live for this shit, I'm 100% rock and roll. That's all I think about. Doing stuff under the rock and roll roof. Everything I do, it's all because I graduated from rock and roll high school, and um, it's this is going to be so much fun, and it means so much to Tom. I know this.
Okay. Considering the Keep It True, were you involved in the choice of the other guests?
No, but I managed to get Danny Lurker there
Yeah. Okay.
through a mutual friend. That was my idea, and I really managed to make that happen. So, in my own interest, because SOD, I can't wait to shake Danny Lurker's hand because I've never met him, and to have him sign my Speak English or Die record because the first SOD album is a huge, huge, huge chapter in my Bible. The
Mhm.
sound. I always play, whenever I play with my band, DCS or whatever, I always play the march of the SOD riff during soundcheck. That's always the first thing I play during soundcheck. Always. for forever. And one time I had the opportunity to play the March of the SOD riff on Scott Ian's guitar through his rig,
Wow.
30 seconds. And I will never forget this. That was awesome. I live for this shit. SOD, the sound, the songs, the intensity, this is unmatched, unmatched.
That's crazy. You know, I'm so happy to see, and I see it on Facebook that you are still a music fan.
Yes.
That's incredible because a lot of artists are not so much fans of others' bands. So yeah, I
I'm,
understand fully.
did you see I made videos where I showed some sister records to Tapping the Vein last year and Forget What You Deserve.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because that, I did not invent anything. I do my version of this, but it's important to pay homage and tribute and respect to what influenced you and what came before you. It's super important. And especially with the underground stuff. There's this band I've, these are the records that I showed in the last video. I still have them here in the video I made, right? With the Bad Brains and DRI and everything.
Yeah,
And I
remember, yeah.
and I also showed this one.
Impaler.
Do you remember Impaler?
I don't know the band.
Okay, this came out in 85. And this cover, you know, this cover alone, this is came out in 85. And I was a huge Wasp fan. And in 85, Wasp dropped the blood and the raw meat and the torture and everything completely. And it went for I don't know, the Western Blind in Texas theme. And all of a sudden, I see this in a record store. And I had to hide it from my mom because of the cover. I was 14, I couldn't, my mom could not see this. And so I make this video where I show all these albums that influenced me, like Septic Death and The Bad Brains and Attitude Adjustment, the punkier stuff, and this one, of course. And this gets shared, and I linked some stuff and I tagged a few people. And all of a sudden, I get a mail from this guy on the cover, Bill Lindsay, the original, the singer, and Impaler is still around. I get a message on Facebook Messenger saying how much this means to him, that he saw the video. And in the video, I say that Impaler is like Sodom to me, a rock and roll band. And he said, "Thank you for that I got it. I got that Impaler was a rock and roll band." And then we were kind of writing back and forth. And I told him what I just told you, that I had to hide this album from my mom. And he said he gets this a lot. He cannot count how many people have told him that they had to hide
Yeah, the cover.
the cover from their parents. And in 1985, at 14, had you told me that 40 years later, that this guy even exists and now knows who I am and says, "Thank you for mentioning my band." This is, I think, my 14-year-old self was, and this is the stuff that I absolutely live for. And yes, I think I'm a music fan first because I was a fan first, and then I wanted to make music myself, but I'm still a fan. I still go to shows and I listen to music all the time, all the time, the good old stuff, some new stuff. And I love talking about music. You could wake me up at 3 in the morning and ask me, "Hey Annie, what does Kiss mean to you?" And I would just be upright in a second and go on for 5 hours and tell you what kiss means to me, and stuff like that. It's just, I love this. I love it.
Wow.
And this will never go away. I'm a huge Skid Row fan, and
Oh, we are the youth gone wild.
Youth Gone Wild forever.
But I'm a huge fan of Slave to the Grind.
Oh, can you see this? Can you
Wow,
see
they
this?
signed. Oh
No,
shit.
this is you can't be king of the world if you're a slave to the grind. And this is Snake's handwriting.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
friends with the guys. My band DCS, we toured with Skid Row. And I have this is he's thick as the skin because there's a Skid Row album called Thick
Yeah,
Skin.
yeah, yeah.
And this is Scotty Hill's
Right.
handwriting.
Wow,
And
shit.
this I'm a diehard Skid Row fan.
I still pray to have Sebastian back, but
It's
not
never gonna
sure
happen.
it will happen. No,
I
yeah,
don't think it's ever gonna happen. I've talked to the guys
yeah, it's dead.
many times. It's never gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's sad a little.
Yeah, yeah. I had the chance to see them two times, and the first time was at the Ball d'Or in France. It was a competition of motorcycles, and the year before it was Megadeth playing. And this year it was Skid Row. And after they played in Toulouse, it was,
What year? What year?
I think it was for the Suburban Race album.
Wow.
Yeah, 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 that was crazy. And I have done an interview with Snake in Paris. I think it was maybe 20 years ago. I've got this somewhere on YouTube. I will send you the link via Messenger if you
Please
want. It
do. Please do.
was in the
Yeah, please do.
backstage. It was with the second singer, maybe the guy that
Johnny Solinger.
yeah, that he died, yeah, recently, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of Sebastian Bach, and
absolutely.
it's a
I
pain.
toured. We toured with both. We toured my band DCS. We toured with Sebastian in 2014, and then we toured with Skid Row in 2018. Talking about dreams come true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My personal dream was to have Empire of Evil in my town with
Right,
with Mantas and the Demolition Man.
right. And it happened.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Awesome. That's the stuff we live for, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Awesome. Great.
So I have a last question.
All right.
Um, Maybe some bad tongues will say that those re-releases are interfering on the natural Sodom life with the actual lineup. Tom decided to have a break.
Mhm.
The arsonist went just to be out maybe a few months ago. So maybe some people will see a relation between the real releases and the stopping of
No,
the activity. So, yeah, is it a thing you are talking about with him?
no, no. There is, the one thing doesn't have to do anything with the other. That's separate. That's separate. There is no connection between those two things. The re-releases are happening, and the current Sodom stuff, that's not happening, of course, because Tom wants a break, but that had nothing to do with the re-releases. Nothing.
Okay,
No
okay.
connection whatsoever.
And do you see maybe a perspective to have maybe Tom back on stage somewhere? Or is it still thinking about having a break and a coffee? He
I don't
told
know. We're not talking about any of this. I was on tour with them in 2024. He invited me on the 4 dates of the last tour of 2024, and we played a 5-song Tapping the Vein set within the Sodom set as a three-piece, as it should be, and that was awesome. I love playing with Tom and with Tony, of course. We have great chemistry, and we are playing again together at Keep It True. And beyond that, no talks, no plans. I don't know what's the future for Sodom. I don't know. I only know that our version of the band, so to speak, is continuing um, um, revisiting our era.
Yeah.
That's continuing with Maroon and everything.
And what is the tentative schedule for the live releases?
27.
Okay, okay, okay.
Let us get this show on the road first with the, and then I need to breathe a little, and it's just, it's a lot. We are making a new Double Cross Syndrome album right now. We recorded in December with Wolfgang Stach, the Deputy Reserve producer, 30 years later. And we are mixing this one at the end of, once Deputy Reserve is out, we are mixing the DCS album, and that's coming out, and we are playing live, and um, busy, 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 but that's the way I like it. So, what's the future for Sodom? I don't know. In what shape or form or what capacity? I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, okay. So I have to thank you a lot for this interview. It,
Merci, my friend.
it was incredible to talk with you.
Likewise. Thank you. Send me the link to your interview with Snake.
Yeah, I will send you pictures of the magazine.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Hopefully,
I want a copy of the magazine.
yeah, hopefully I can maybe bring it if I come to the Keep It True. So in a way or another, I already have some signatures from Tom, and yours are missing. So
You have to come.
I have to find you somewhere.
You you have to come. We'll make it happen.
And will you be okay if I put the video of this interview on YouTube? Is it
Sure.
okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
I prefer to ask. So
Sure. No, sure. Go ahead.
super.
All
Merci
right.
beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Merci. Have a great night. Bye bye.
So see you later. Bye bye. Cheers.